Hell yeah. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Combat Sports Report podcast. I'm your host, Alan, with your co-host, Simkai over there. First of all, happy Pride Month and not the gay pride. Happy Pride organization because we are an MMA show. So happy
Wow,
Pride
Alan,
Month,
it's so
everybody.
offensive. You didn't put it in rainbow. Wow, Alan.
Bro, by the time Pride was bought by the UFC, Pride Month came around. They didn't have time to add rainbows. So, happy Pride Month, everybody. I know we've been recording all of June, but had to slip that one in there at some point. Let's get right to it. This past weekend, we had, for the first time ever, UFC Baku, UFC Azerbaijan. Okay. Um, Overall feeling about the card, some guy?
It was a pretty good card. I mean, there was a lot of good fighters on there. The performances, though, not really the best. We only had
In
two
what sense?
we only had two finishes on the card. I mean, in terms of like knockouts and like fast wins, not really. I mean, there were good fights in there.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, the best performance, in my opinion, was our boy Naz.
Bro, fucking beautiful performance by Nas.
It really was beautiful.
Incredible. This is the first fight I've ever seen. We'll touch upon this a little bit later too, but this is the first fight I've ever seen where both fighters got both performance bonuses and fight of the night bonuses. They each walked away with an additional $100,000.
That's fucking insane.
Yeah, and it's a yet another fight of the year contender and
Both made
yet
a hundred.
another fight. What's up?
I said both the loser and the winner got 100K.
Exactly, exactly. And
That's
yet another fight of the year contender by Nas, bro. Nas does not know how to be in a boring fight. That's the Brooklyn way. Fucking shout out to Black Wolf. I know he doesn't like when you throw the word "the" in there. So shout out Black Wolf, Nazim Sadikov. That fight was fucking beautiful.
he's the G.
Oh, yeah,
The
we gotta dive deep into it. You want to start off with the main card?
why don't we start off with our some of our prelims first? I'm gonna be honest, some of them were kind of
Okay.
ass, so we're not really gonna mention them.
I agree
Actually,
for the most
Alan,
part, except I'll change one word. It wasn't some of them, it was most of them were dog water.
Alan, actually, just for the heck of it, just to hear you roast people, how bad was that heavyweight fight opener? Just shit on it for everybody.
Bro, both fighters should be cut from the UFC. Both fighters, okay? Muhammad Usman does not know how to strike. His knees look like they don't bend. Anytime he gets touched by anything, he looks like he's about to fucking spontaneously combust backwards and just tip over and fall like a I don't know. You ever see one of those Easter Island heads from fucking
Yeah.
Night at the Museum? It seems like he's just gonna buckle a little bit and just fall flat like on his back and not know how to get up. He's not a mobile fighter. He did zero wrestling. I guess that's fine against Hamdi Abdelwahab. Hamdi looked pretty good in the first round. He looked comfortable. I thought Hamdi was going to win, but then he got caught with the. He just got caught a little bit. He got a little bit lazy on the feet against Usman. Usman picked it up in the second round. I think he dropped him in the second round or almost dropped him. He clipped him hard. At the last 30 seconds of round three, Abdelwahab was against the fence. He was not even covering up, and Usman did not go in for the finish at all. And I was just like, what the fuck am I watching?
Yeah, it was
I promise you, I go to a lot of amateur fights. I see way better amateur fights than what I saw from Usman versus Hamdi Abdelwahab. Usman, I don't know how, like, what did he win the fight based off of? Like, he landed like a jab and maybe a right hand and wobbled him, and that was
maybe
it.
pressure, but I didn't even see any pressure to be honest.
It was just like a bad fight. Like a fight where it's like, this is the UFC and this is what you're showcasing. Like, brother, the UFC heavyweight division, and I know we'll talk about this more later on, but it's in shambles right now. It's the worst heavyweight division I have ever seen in my fucking life. And they're cutting heavyweights left and right, which
Well,
I'm
the
like,
one
what the
thing,
fuck are they doing?
well, they did make one good decision if we want to shout that out right now, or if you want.
Let's go into that a little bit later.
Okay.
We'll talk about that because that's a whole conversation in its own. But just right now, heavyweight division is in shambles, bro. Fuck out of here.
It's
Terrible
really
fight.
bad.
Yeah, okay. I want to go into one fight on the prelims. It's kind of important. Really good fight. You have Azat Maksum who fought
Oh fuck, that was a really
Tagir Ulanbekov. That fight, for my money, before the Nas fight, was fight of the night. It was such a good fight.
yeah. I
What'd
really
you
enjoyed
think?
that one. No, dude, it was great. I mean, both guys were like pushing the pace. Obviously, Tagira Ulanbekov was a little bit better, but I mean, Azat was putting like
Yeah.
making it hard for him. It was like a really
Yeah.
good fight. Uh, I said it before, but the flyweights really are outshining the heavyweight division at this point, and it's
By
crazy.
far.
It's crazy to me that they almost cut that division. So,
Yeah, flyweight is one of the most exciting divisions right now, in my opinion. They have a
oh
lot of contenders. They have a dominant champion. And their guys just are not afraid to fucking touch each other, bro.
no,
In
literally,
heavyweight, you always have this problem of guys fearing each other's power a little bit too much. And I get it. I understand that you have a big fucker swinging at you. But so what? You're just gonna stand there and be scared of the guy for 15 minutes?
yeah, it's
Like
a
what Azat versus Tagir Ulanbekov showed is that the flyweights are way ahead of this curve. Like they're
oh,
way ahead of the
100%.
heavyweight division. I'd argue they're way ahead of most divisions in terms of their depth because Azat Maksum is not ranked and he looked like a potential world champion. The
Yeah, he
biggest difference I saw in that fight was the power from Ulanbekov. The pop on the punches was just a little bit more, but Azat Maksum was stuffing all of the takedowns from a guy from Khabib's camp. You know what I'm saying? Very impressive stuff. And he landed his own shots too. It was a very close fight. I think the end result was like 29-28 for Tagir, but it was close.
it was really close, and it was a really good fight overall. I very much enjoyed it. It was a contender of fight of the night, like Alan just said. Another fight that I enjoyed, but did definitely got controversial a little bit, was Junyun Park versus Ismail
He's
Nordiev.
yeah.
I thought Park did do the job well. I mean, we did pick Park to win. I thought it was an interesting fight. What exactly happened that like didn't they like clash heads or something? What happened in that fight, Alan?
Did you see the fight?
Bits and pieces of that fight because I was
It was a weird fight. I just had to ask that question because if you don't if you didn't really see it, it's kind of strange. So I think it
yeah, I
was
was in
round
the yeah bathroom. Yeah.
nah, shit happens. I think it was in the second round. Ismail Nurdiev eye pokes Jung Young Park. They Jung Young Park recovers, whatever. He's like, ah, whatever, fuck it, I'll keep going. Then he gets eye poked again in the other eye. Okay, so that's two fouls. Some refs would take a point, some don't. Okay. Then it gets to the point where Jung Young Park, um, he's like trying to take down Ismail Nurdiev. And this second eye poke break was a little bit longer, so Nurdiev was kind of like fired up and he wants to like hurt Jung Young Park. Park comes out, he starts grappling. Nardiev escapes, and then he starts laying it on Park, and then he finishes a combination with a knee to the face of Jung Young Park as Park is like grounded. His knee is firmly planted on the mat. His hand is on the mat. His hand lifts a little bit, but his knee is fully on the mat, and he gets kneed in the eye. His eye gets split open bad, bro.
That's
Bad pouring blood. Okay. And this was so Ismail Nardiev runs off as if he's won the fight. He's on the octagon. He thinks the fight is over. He's like, oh my God, I won by knockout. Massive adrenaline dump for him. He thinks the fight is over. The fight is not over. Jung Young Park, they call in the doctor, they call in the ref, they call in the translator. Everybody's working together. Everybody's trying to see how he is. The cut man cleaned up the blood.
okay.
And it took about 4 minutes, 4.5 minutes, 4 minutes, 45 seconds, almost the entire 5 minute break that is allotted. Jung Young Park recovers from this knee like a fucking savage. It was a really bad knee to the eye, bro. His eyelid basically exploded.
That's kind of crazy. Well, hopefully
They
he's recovering well now. So
yeah, I hope so. Bro, so they say, okay, fight's still going. Nardiev already had this adrenaline dump. They bring Nardiev back from like on top of the octagon into the cage, only for the ref to take 2 points. I'm, ha ha ha, the balloons. He took 2 points. Okay, at once. It wasn't like 1 point and then another foul and then 1 point. It was like 2 points right away. So I was like, oh shit. I've like I don't remember the last time I saw it. Apparently, the last time that happened was John Jones kneeing Anthony Smith in the head. That's the last time that happened, apparently.
That's crazy. And do you know what I remember about that? Smith could have become the champion actually, but
He could have, yeah.
he decided not to. He wanted to continue the fight, which is pretty baller of him, I would say.
Exactly. Exactly. And I think the same thing was on the table for Jung Young Park. Jung Young Park now up 2 points, and I would argue he won the first round. And like before that knee, I thought he was winning the second round. Now he's in there. He's up at least 2 points. And he just he wrestle fucks the shit out of Ismail Nadia for the rest of the fight. And he dominates basically with some ground and pound, with submission attempts, with a lot of really, really solid top pressure. So Ismail Nadia fucked up big time. First, throwing an illegal knee, not checking. And second, celebrating right away, not staying composed. The ref never waved off the fight. He didn't even look at the ref. He just saw, oh, the ref is stepping in. That means fight is over and I win. Mm-mm. Big mistake.
That's a big mistake.
Yeah. And Jung Young Park is a fucking animal for
Julian
taking
Park
that.
is an animal. The turtle, I think, is his nickname. Ninja Turtle?
Iron Turtle.
Iron Turtle, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's a
I
G.
see why they call him that.
No, same here. He's really good all around. I
Yeah.
think he should get definitely a bigger fight coming up.
Hmm.
That'll be amazing for him.
Yeah. I honestly, I would not be mad at something like Jung Young Park versus like Andre Muniz or something.
Yeah, I
What
wouldn't
do you
be
think
mad
of this
at
fight?
that, to be honest.
Okay. Did they ever fight? Oh, they did fight before. Muniz beat him by decision. I was thinking
Yeah,
that fight seemed a little bit familiar, but somebody like right outside the rankings, I think.
yeah. Alan, so what did you think about our featured prelim? We kind of got that wrong there, but I was pretty surprised by Seong Young Ko's performance.
Yeah, I was not familiar with the work of Mr. Ko. That boy is a fucking animal.
Really
He just
was.
ragdolled Oban Elliott for 3 rounds straight. Dominant win. Oban Elliott did not have a minute of this fight where he was winning. Unfortunately, like Oban Elliott has looked good in all of his UFC performances except for this one, and that's not his fault. That's Ko. Ko is just nasty like that.
Yeah, no, I was pretty impressed by Ko. He was pushing the pace on Oban Elliott. I thought Oban Elliott was going to get the win. Oban Elliott's was very good in Cage Warriors, very good in his first couple of UFC fights. I
Hmm.
think he'll make a comeback, but it just wasn't his night. Seong Young Ko.
Yeah, dude, okay, Oban Elliott before this knocked out Basil Hafez. He beat Preston Parsons by decision. He beat Val Woodburn by decision. Um, he's been on a good streak. This is his first loss. He's now 3-1 in the UFC. No shame in that. Next
No,
fight,
not at
he'll
all.
come back a better fighter. I think he'll only grow from this. I don't think this is a big deal for Oban Elliott. Like, obviously, he must suck, but the future still looks bright for him.
Oh, very bright. I think Oban is gonna show some people what's up when he gets back.
Yeah.
I think he's been like fluid between welterweight and middleweight. I'd like to see him at middleweight again, personally. I think he maybe might be better for him, but I guess we'll see.
Has he been back and forth?
I feel like
No, he's only been
did he
at
fight Val Woodburn at middleweight or was that welterweight?
he fought Val Woodburn at welterweight. Val Woodburn's the one that fluctuates. He fought Bo Nickel on
Oh,
short notice. I mean, that was on like 4 days' notice that he fought him, you know?
no, yeah.
Doesn't make sense. But I like Oban at welterweight. Low key, like he's not, I don't think he's big enough to go up to middleweight. Like middleweight is big fucking guys, bro. Very big. Very big difference
Oh,
between
very.
middleweight and welterweight. Yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
But Alan,
Main card?
yeah, main card. So, what did you think of our opening fight for the main card, Alan?
Naimov versus Bogdangrad. I thought Bogdangrad looked pretty good, and I honestly thought you could see a way to give him 2 rounds out of the three, but it was easier to see how Naimov could be the winner. So I'm not mad at that. You know what I'm saying? Like it was close, it was competitive, but Naimov edged it out.
No, I definitely agree with that. I thought Naimov did a pretty good job. It was back and forth with the pace and the pressure. Garad will definitely be back. He is the one who actually beat our boy Mike Aswell to get into
Yeah.
the UFC from Dana White Contender Series.
Hey, hey. They're both in the UFC.
Yeah, well,
Grad's coming off of a loss,
yeah,
as
maybe
well as coming off of an impressive performance, even though it didn't go his way. Impressive performance on short notice. Maybe they run that one back next.
I would love to see that, honestly.
Me too.
I think that would be great.
hmm Me too. I like that fight.
And then our
Um,
next fight, Alan, unless you have anything else you want to cover with this fight.
nope.
Okay, Alan, I'm going to let you take it away with this one.
A boy from Brooklyn, New York, Mr. Nazim Siddiqov. Black Wolf. Not the Black Wolf, but Black Wolf is a monster in the lightweight division, and he is just terrorizing everything. Let's just open his past couple fights, right? Nicholas Mota, second round knockout. Ismail Bonfim, first round knockout, aka Dr. Stoppage. Draw with Vyacheslav Borshev in what could only be described as the fight of the year in 2023. Um, you have Nazim Sadikov submitting Terrence McKinney round two. And you have Nas knocking out Evan Elder round three. Okay? All finishes except the fight of the year in 2023 against the Vyacheslav Borshev. All finishes. Okay? No losses, all wins except for that fight of the year, which was a draw. Um, in his performance against Mota came out way better than I thought he would. In the first round, he almost put Nas away. He ripped like 100 punch combo. But Nas, being the ever so clever kickboxer striker that he is, with that Brooklyn mindset, that Soviet kickboxing school mindset, he weathered the storm. He stayed calm, was not breathing heavy at all during that, kept his arms moving, so he was rolling with all the shots. He did not absorb any crazy ones from what it looked like on the TV. And then he was like, all right, that's all you got. Now it's my turn. And then he fucking laid it on Moda. Even at the end of round one, I was like, holy shit, this is gonna be a war. Then, oh my God, bro. Oh my God. They were ripping body shots back and forth. So they tried, bro. It was such a beautiful fight. It deserved fight of the night for sure. It deserved performance of the night for sure for Nas.
Yeah.
Mota also did not look like a slouch. So I understand why they gave him a performance
Yeah, that
bonus
was
too.
surprising for me. But I
Yeah,
mean,
dude.
good. So,
Yeah, I am not surprised that this fight was entertaining because both these guys always entertain. But how entertaining and how it went down, man, it was such a fun fight to watch. Super happy for Nas. I think it's about time he fights either top 15 or right under the top 15. I'd like to see him. I talk about this shit all the time. I'd like to see him fight Ludovic Klein. If he wants that, I would like to see that fight. Ludovic Klein just fought Gamrot, didn't didn't win. Okay, he's coming off of a loss, but he just touched the top 15. Meaning, if Nas beats him, his next fight should be top 15 also. I'm not sure Moda is enough of a high status player in the lightweight division to warrant a top 15 fight right after beating him. But I do think that Nas has earned himself like a step in that direction,
oh
like a
no,
big
definitely
step in that direction.
big. I mean, I kind of agree with you. I think it could either be Ludovic Klein or even someone in the top 15 that isn't booked. I mean, I said it before, and I'll say it again because we're gonna get to this fighter eventually. But if fighters who haven't fought in the UFC before are able to get top five contenders, you know who I'm talking about. Uh,
Mm.
I mean, I think at this point, Nas should get the shot, man. I mean, I think he should get some. I mean, because
Listen, I agree with you, but as a fan of Nas, I don't want him to skip any steps and rush. Okay,
true, you're right.
Gamrot is a very dangerous fight. And I would like to see Nas take at least just like one more before Gamrot. Because from Nas's record in the UFC, he's fought some good wrestlers. He fought Evan Elder. He fought who else? I feel like there's one more that he fought that was a good wrestler. Maybe not. Evan Elder is the best guy, like best wrestler he's faced. And Gamrot is a significantly better wrestler than Elder. And that's not to say Elder's wrestling is not good. It is. But Gamrot's is probably like some of the best in the division outside of Islam Makhachev. Okay, so when you're going against a grappler like that, I don't want to just see, I don't know. I don't want to see it play out the way most of Gamrot's fights play out, where he shoots for the double, maybe he attacks a couple of submissions, or he just holds you, and that's it. I would like to see Nas take one more, get some more high quality training in, like practice a little bit, and then take on that fight.
No, I agree with you. I think it needs to definitely be, he definitely needs a step in the right direction before. I mean, I think
Yeah.
Ludwig Klein, like you said, could be really good. Hmm.
Yeah, maybe somebody that's more wrestling heavy than Ludovic, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, if the next step after Ludovic is Mateusz Gamrot, then you got to warm up with a good wrestler. So who's
Maybe
right outside that?
maybe Bahamondes, he just lost, but he did challenge like for the top 15.
Bahamondes was ranked before this fight, no?
No,
Bahamondes was
I
like
don't
number
think so.
14. I
I
think
don't
he is. I think he was like number 14. Could be wrong. I don't know. In any case, while we look that up, let's move on to the next fight. Or do you have something to add for this one?
Nope, don't got anything to add, just that Naz is a fucking boss and that
Hmm.
we definitely should be seeing more of him soon.
Yeah, hopefully we see more of him soon on this podcast. Hopefully he sees
Oh
it
yeah,
fit to
that would be
come on and grace us with his presence, and we'll talk some shit with him. I feel like it would
yeah.
be a lot of fun.
Oh, it would be definitely fun. We will work on getting that for you.
Hell
So,
yeah. I'm checking the rankings right now. Um, no, it looks like he's not in the top 15. Yeah, Bahamondes was outside of that's crazy. Bahamondes is not ranked. Wild. Wild. Okay. Next fight. Our next fight on the card was who? Next, oh, Tafik Musayev versus Miktabek Orolbay.
wow.
Yo, dude, we fucked up.
Yeah, we really
Yo,
did. We
you
really
know
did.
what it is? UFC is just throwing all these big name outsiders from outside the UFC in with like just contenders in the UFC. And I think they're doing it to prove a point that UFC is leagues above everything else.
Yeah, it really
And
is.
they're kind of showing out. You know who Tafik Musayev is?
Oh, I know who he is.
Tafik
Ryan.
Musayev has a knockout win over Rafael Fiziev, if I'm not mistaken.
He's also knocked out Patricky Pitbull. He's won the Ryzen lightweight title. He's fought in Bellator. I don't think he fought in PFL, but I know he fought in Bellator. Yeah, he's pretty much the real deal. Like he's great
Maybe
all
not. No, I don't think he has a win over Fiziev, actually. I might be
it
thinking of
was
somebody else.
Patricky Pitbull.
Yeah. Somebody similar to Fiziev, to Feek has a win over Fiziev. I'm gonna do some research and get back to you on that. But Tafik Musayev, a prolific striker in Ryzen and Bellator. Um, he's a very good fighter. He makes his debut against Miktabek Oralbay, the caveman, the
Jeez.
guy from Kyrgyzstan. And
The guy who put up a fight against Mateusz Rebecki. I remember that fight
yeah,
clear.
yeah, that was a war, bro. That was such a good fight. I'm just gonna say this. Um, Oralbay did not make it look close at all.
He did not.
Not even slightly. Like he made it look like Tafik Musayev did not belong in there with him.
I can agree with that.
And that's just the reality, bro. He took him down at will like twice, and then he has him in. I forget if it was like deep side. It was inside control. Then he steps over the head. He has the Kimura, and he just rips the arm off. And Tafik, doesn't matter how tough you are, you're gonna lose an arm if you don't tap there. So he had to do what he had to do. He had to tap. It's just like not a good guy to start off your UFC career against Muktabek Orolbay because he doesn't have the biggest name. He's very tough. He's very big, and he's good everywhere. I'd like to see, speaking on this topic, I'd like to see Miktabek Oralbay move up to welterweight from lightweight. I really think he's just too big for lightweight.
Yeah, I think Orleby, I think you mentioned it, but welterweight kind of seems
Mhm.
good for him. It was a catch weight bout.
Yeah,
So
it was at 165 this time. So what's 170 to 165, you know?
exactly.
5 pound difference. I think with that extra weight, Oralbay looks like a fucking monster. Put him against the top 10 in welterweight immediately.
Bro, I don't disagree with you. I think
Mhm.
definitely he deserves that. Rebecki probably should get, I mean, Rebecki did beat him, but it was a pretty close fight.
Yeah,
So,
but if they're going to be in different weight classes, then it doesn't really matter, I think. Because if Rebecca's staying at lightweight and Oralby goes to welterweight, I think that could really work out. I think the reason that Oralby lost to Rebecca is just because he cut so much weight, he couldn't keep up with Rebecca's cardio. He just couldn't keep up. But that comes from the weight cut also. So if you eliminate that, I think he beats Rebecca.
yeah, I think
You
so
know?
too. It was at welterweight. I think he probably beats him.
Yeah, I agree with you, bro. What's it called? All right, so our next fight, another heavyweight,
This
another
is Alan's
fucking.
favorite fight of the card.
Okay, first of all, one of these fighters is like my least favorite fighter on the UFC roster. And that dude is not Curtis Blades. Fuck yeah, Curtis Razor Blades for winning. Thank you. Rizvan Kuniev. Man, I'm already not a fan, and this is his first fight in the UFC. First of all, if you look at his physique from contender series to or from before contender series to contender series to now, it's like he's just doubling in size. Like his belly grows every fucking time. And then you look at his fights in Eagle FC and all that, and you're like, well, why is he so shredded here? Then you flash back to the Hanan Fajeda versus Rizvan Kuniev fight in PFL. Rizvan Kuniev wins by unanimous decision, and then it's overturned into a no contest. You want to know why, Mr. Simkai? You want to know why?
Tell me, sir.
Because Rizvan Kuniev was found to be on like four different types of anabolic steroids. Anabolic,
Pretty
Yo,
bad.
you don't accidentally ingest anabolic steroids, let alone four of them. It's not an accident. You're fucking ingesting this shit. You're injecting this shit into your ass fucking hole. Bro, it pisses me off so much. And then just because he's Khabib's boy and former champion of Khabib's organization, he gets a top five fight off the bat. What the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
What happened to earning your way up?
I mean,
I'm
honestly,
okay with
I
guys
think
like Tafik Musayev, like fighting for rank, like fighting even Tafik Musayev, bro. Tafik Musayev is a way more prolific name than Rizvan Kuniev, and Tafik Musayev has to fight an unranked lightweight in Muktabek Oralbay. But Rizvan Kuniev, for whatever reason, he gets to cut the line and fight Curtis Blades. I hate that shit, bro. I really do. It gets on my fucking nerves. Say something back so I'm not
no, I mean,
so I don't have to keep going with this because
yeah,
bro,
I mean, Curtis Blades, I'm really proud that he got the win. Kind
hell
of
yeah.
puts him back in, even though his opponent wasn't really the best.
Yo,
Rizvan,
Rizvan was landing some clean shots
Rizvan
in the
was
second and
landing some
third.
crazy shit. I mean, yeah, but I just don't think he deserved that, man. I mean, he proved why he's up there, but he didn't deserve it, like in my
I
opinion.
agree with you. I agree. He didn't deserve that shot. He didn't deserve top five. He did not deserve Curtis Blades. Best win of his life is Renan Fajeda, and he got busted for anabolic fucking steroids for that
You
fight.
know what?
So,
You know what I do
mm,
think, Alan, and this is the one matchup I'm gonna make right now because it's literally right on the top of my head. So the UFC is returning to Paris in September. Gane versus Blades main event. Book it.
mm,
Do it.
does Gone factor in to the title picture?
I mean, he did beat Volkov. Volkov is most probably next. I think Gane
But
is
that's the thing. Like Volkov is next coming off of a loss.
okay, but maybe I still think that we should get Blades and Gon. I feel like that would be a good fight. I
Why?
mean, what?
Why?
I don't know. I feel like it's an exciting matchup. I mean, both are obviously good on the feet. Gon does have good wrestling somewhat, not really. But
Mm.
I feel like Blades could beat him if he utilizes takedowns and wrestling against Gon, and Gon probably would have the advantage a little bit on the feet. But I don't know. I feel like it'd be an interesting main event. I feel like it'd be one people that would watch too.
Gon has like no wrestling, and then his striking is light years ahead of what's his name? Curtis Blades. Sorry. His wrestling is Curtis Blades' wrestling is way better than Gon's. Gon's striking is way better than Curtis's. Like not even close. So it's a classic striker versus wrestler matchup. Honestly, I don't really give a fuck who wins that one, to be honest with you. I want to see Tom Aspinall, the pound for pound champ, the number one undisputed heavyweight champion at this stage, which we'll get into in a couple minutes. Um, I want to see him fight Gon, to be honest with you, because that fight has just been sitting on the sidelines for a long time. Long time. And Gon's coming off of a win. I think you have to give him Aspinall.
I do. I mean, Aspinall. Well, we'll get into that later, but yes, Aspinall. We do have to find him a contender. I mean, I feel like personally, I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. I would say Volkov, but Volkov did lose. But then again,
Yeah.
I don't know. Volkov has been in there for a while, though. I feel like if anyone should get the shot, it should be him, even though he's coming off of a loss. But that's just me. So,
I mean, I,
also,
I see where you're coming from with that.
he's a
So,
former Bellator heavyweight champion. People forget
yeah.
this. So,
Yeah. Volkov is accomplished. Listen, I'm not against giving it to Volkov. Um, Honestly, I like that strat. I like that idea. So I'm with it.
yeah. I mean,
I just don't like guys coming off of a loss getting the title shot. I'd rather see Volkov get one more to show everybody that he deserves it. Like
Did
maybe,
Aspinall beat Volkov already?
yeah, he did.
Oh, so it would be a rematch.
Straight armbar. Yeah, yeah. He got him with the
Maybe.
straight armbar
I
in like
think
round one.
Volkov in that case would have to get another win.
Absolutely. Yeah. Since you brought that up, I didn't even think about that. But yeah, Aspinall already beat him. Aspinall
Yeah.
never fought Gon though, and Gon beat Volkov in twice.
Yeah,
Gon beat
maybe
Volkov
Gon is
twice.
next for the title. Maybe Gon is next for the title shot. I mean, that is the fight. Gon fought John Jones. I mean, he lost, but he
Yeah.
fought like yeah. I think the next one to make is Aspinall versus Gon. Honestly,
Yeah.
Alan, I mean, the UFC said it's returning to Paris, but they didn't say if it was a fight night or not. Honestly, I would do Gon Aspinall in France. I mean.
I'm with it. I would do it too.
Because we also there's a lot of talent in France. Benoit Saint Denis,
Manon
Marcin
Fior,
Fiorot, uh,
Morgan Charrier.
he lost, but Umar Sy, Morgan Shari, as you just said,
Mhm.
Willie. Well, I don't know if he's still in the UFC, but William. No, I think he is. William Gomis. Uh,
I think, bro, Gomis is like a
yeah,
sleeper.
Gomis
He's
is.
like what, 17 and 1, 16 and
Yeah,
1?
Paris Zaem. Like, there's a lot of
Yeah,
talent
yeah, yeah, yeah.
put on that card. I
You
mean,
do, yo, you know what you could do? You could do Fares versus Nas.
ooh, that does seem good, but yeah, that does seem.
He's right outside the top 15 also.
Ooh, Perez versus Benoit.
Doesn't Benoit have a fight booked already?
No, he won his fight. Remember, he fought Kyle Propolek in Canada.
I thought he had another fight scheduled. I thought that's why they were saying everybody in the top 15 is booked. Let's see. I'm gonna check on Topology. Topology says, um, doesn't well, Topology does not list another fight coming up. So maybe. I'm not against it. Not against it.
Yeah,
Um, yeah. All right. Should we continue harping on this heavyweight division, or should we go on to the next fight?
I think we should go on to the next fight, and then
Okay.
we'll
Next
get back to
fight.
it because we are going to talk about.
Yeah, we there's a lot to discuss there. Okay.
Yeah,
Next fight is co-main event. Rafael Fiziev versus Ignacio Bahamondes. Great fight in my opinion. I thought it was very entertaining the entire way through. Bro, Rafael Fiziev, when he enters the Matrix, there's nobody stopping him.
There really is no one stopping him, to be honest.
He's a beast, bro.
He's about, you know what I still remember? His fight with fuck, what the hell was that guy? Mark Diakese.
Oh
Oof.
yeah,
That fucking
Marky
kick, bro.
Casey.
That was like one of the most insane things I've ever seen. I mean, Rafael Fiziev, he fought Gaethje twice.
Hmm.
I mean, he's a star, and I was honestly happy to see him get the bounce back win, especially
Me
in front
too.
of the crowd. I think Fiziev definitely is going to get a big fight soon. Maybe even in a return to Baku, he could get a main event.
For sure,
So,
but I don't think they're gonna do that anytime soon.
oh no,
I
they're probably
think,
not. But
yeah,
but yeah, I think that he was definitely pushing the pace. I really loved his performance, and honestly, I just hope I get to see him again soon. He's an exciting fighter, and honestly, he's
I'm
one of
just
the
gonna
most
say,
no, no, no. He's one of the most hilarious like people I've ever seen.
mm,
It's this like funny clip where he's
he
in
just
New.
says out of pocket shit.
Oh no, this is out of pocket, but it's hilarious. But he there was like a clip where he's in New York City. I believe it was like I don't know if he was fighting there or he
The
was like
Shakira one.
yeah. And like he literally was like recording this guy without a shirt on with like makeup on like singing Shakira, Shakira and he's just like
Shakira, Shakira, whoa. And, bro, stone face, just facing the camera.
yeah. Literally like the funniest shit I've ever seen.
Yeah, dude,
But
he's
he's
a
the
funny dude.
character, like seems like a genuine ass guy, like when he's like not in the octagon, like
What if
I
he's a genuine tits guy, huh? Fucking bigot.
that's
What if
true.
he's not a genuine ass guy? What if he's a genuine tits guy, huh? It's fucking bigoted of you. Very misogynistic.
Yeah, but no, I mean I was pretty excited by his performance. Bahamondes always brings it, so he did good, but just wasn't enough for
He just could not touch Fiziev for most of that. And even though he had a crazy reach advantage, Fiziev is just on another level in striking, bro. He is just too fucking smooth. I'm gonna drop some striking knowledge on you because that's kind of my specialty. If you notice rounds like one and two, especially, anytime Bahamondes loves to switch stances. He does it like multiple times a minute. Anytime Bahamondes switch stances, Rafael Fiziev would switch his stance to mirror that stance. A lot of people missed that. A lot of people thought it was just footwork, whatever. That was super intentional. And it opened up the body shots, which Fiziev capitalized on a lot more than I anticipated. He only did a couple of nice shots to the head, but anytime Bahamondes switched it up and switched the stance, Fiziev switched the stance too, closed the distance. He tried to chop the leg out a little bit, but mostly it was like body shots. He was landing crazy body shots, and he used that to set up shots to the head too. I thought it was masterful. And throw in the fact that he landed like three takedowns.
dude, yeah, that was pretty
When the
impressive.
fuck did we see Fiziev with takedowns? And they were easy takedowns for him.
He's evolving his game. Like he really is evolving his game for sure.
Absolutely.
I mean, he's definitely more exciting every time we see him.
Mhm.
I'm
If
ex
Nas was not on this card, that would be fight of the night for sure.
Probably, yeah. I agree with you there.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, no, but that was an interesting co-main event.
Yeah. Baku boys were showing out tonight.
The Baku boys were well, except Tafik, but Tafik,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
In his next performance, he'll have an opportunity to
Oh no,
show out.
yeah, he'll make a comeback. I mean, I think
Yeah.
after losing in front of a home crowd, it's definitely gonna
Yeah, I agree with you.
make a comeback. So,
Yeah.
yep, we're
All
gonna
right.
yeah. So now our main event, Alan. What did you think?
Main event time. I think Khalil Roundtree had a very smart game plan, very patient, very methodical, and he beat the fuck out of Jamal Hill. That leg, that lead leg that Jamal was standing on his right leg, I think, because he's a southpaw, so the right leg is in front. He beat the fuck out of it. His right calf was twice the size of his left calf, and Khalil just kept hitting it. He kept almost knocking Hill down with it. And he used that to set up some body kicks. They were nice. Most of it was like leg kicks, some body kicks, and then he would fake with like a leg kick and then go upstairs, or he'd fake with like a body kick and go upstairs. And he dropped him like two, almost three times. So. Dominant win by Khalil. I gave him
Yeah.
all 3 rounds. One of the judges gave him 4 rounds to one, but it was very clear who won that fight.
I was very like impressed with Khalil. I mean, when he like got his leg to like when he like fell on his leg, I'm like, oh shit, he's about to like Modestus him. Yeah, I said that. But yeah,
Yeah.
he was about to do that. I'm like, oh fuck. Like
He tried a couple times.
Khalil is I think he's ready. Like I think he's ready for another title shot. I mean, from how he looked in that fight, like he fought a technical fight. Like he wasn't just going in there.
Even from the way he walked out, he didn't even walk to the center of the cage when the fight first started in round one. He stood in his spot. He had Jamal walk over to him, and then he just beat the fuck out of Jamal.
Yeah.
Jamal, like, as the rounds progressed, he lost more and more power as the lead leg got chewed up more and more. Because the lead leg got chewed up. Eventually, he would switch stances to try to be an orthodox. A, he's not used to being an orthodox, but B, the back leg is where you get all your power. So the back leg for him was the injured leg. So he had no power to use against Khalil. So Khalil was like, okay, I'm coasting. Let me just win this fight. And he tried to finish him a couple times, but you
No,
you
he
can't
definitely
you can't take those unnecessary risks against somebody like Jamal Hill.
no, you definitely can. I fully agree with you.
Yeah.
Uh yeah, I mean, definitely a good main event. Khalil definitely won that lopsided, and I
Yeah.
mean dominated that fight.
And now he's at least number 4 in the
Yeah.
division. He
No,
beat the fuck out of Jamal Hill. Now there's only who's above him? Yuri, maybe. Who do we got? Yuri, Rakic. Let's look at light heavyweight. Hold on, light heavyweight. Okay, you have Pereira, number 1 contender. Yuri, Carlos Ulberg.
ooh,
Okay, so Ulberg, Prohaska, Pereira, and Ankalaev. They're the only guys that should be ahead of Khalil Roundtree after this point. So
yeah,
that leaves a lot of interesting fights for him.
that does. I mean, we can get into them now if you want, because we do have to get into our matchmaking about who we think should get next. So who do you think should be next, Alan, for Khalil Roundtree?
Um, you could do Jan Blachowicz, who's number 5,
That's a good one.
or you could do Prohaska to be honest with you, because Prohaska and Pereira can't fight each other anymore. It just doesn't make any sense to. It's 2 knockouts for Pereira. That fight doesn't really make any sense unless Yuri really has some serious traction. I think you give Khalil Roundtree versus Yuri Prohaska. I think it's a great fight.
Yeah. No, I definitely think that would be a good fight. I mean, Yuri, honestly, I would like to see Yuri and Roundtree. I think that is the fight to make, to be honest. I mean, we just saw what he did to Hill. I wonder what he would do to
Mm.
Yuri. So,
Yeah. If
Khalil,
he would be able to do anything to Yuri, because Yuri's a very, very different style.
you know what I would like to see next, actually, though?
What?
I would, and I'm going to do this for Jamal Hill. I would like to see Jamal Hill and Jan Blachowicz, two former champions, going at it to make a comeback. I would like to see that fight.
Yuri versus Jamal Hill?
No, Jan
Or who?
Blachowicz versus Jamal.
Jan versus Jamal Hill. Sorry, I
And then we
misheard
would
you.
have Yuri versus Khalil Roundtree.
I like that. I like that situation a lot. I like it. I'm with it. Fully on board.
Okay, so Alan,
Okay.
out of
All
our
right.
comment,
Big news. You want to do the announcement or should I?
well, are we matchmaking for the rest of the main card, or are we gonna do our news
The
now?
heavyweight landscape.
You want to do that first? Okay,
Yeah.
so Alan, I'm gonna leave it to you because you were the most excited by this. So
John Jones is no longer the undisputed heavyweight champion in the UFC. He
dun,
told
dun,
Dana he
dun.
relinquished his belt. Fucking, we need one of these. We need one of these. John Jones is
Very
no
nice,
longer champion.
very nice.
After 2 years of terrorizing the division by not fighting anybody, including the interim champion, longest reigning interim champion, I believe now for of all time.
Yeah, a defending interim champion too.
He defended his interim belt against Curtis Blades. Tom Aspinall is now undisputed heavyweight champion. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Dana White came to my door, said, "Shut the fuck up and tell everybody that John Jones is the GOAT." Anyway, we're back. We're free of John Jones terrorizing the heavyweight division, and it's official. Tom Aspinall has assumed the mantle of undisputed heavyweight champion of the
Yes,
UFC heavyweight
sir.
division. Just as we were talking about how fucking shit the heavyweight division is today, Dana White says, problem solved. So he is a man of the people. John Jones called him, retired, and now Aspinall is the champion, which leaves us in a precarious situation. Who do you give the title shot to next? And as Simkai and I were discussing, Simkai, correct me if I'm wrong, but as we were discussing before the pod, we were thinking people shit on Gon all the time, but Gon is coming off of his second win over Alexander Volkov. Volkov's coming off a loss. Jailton Almeida also, I believe his last fight was what? His last fight was against Curtis Blades. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So he's also coming off of a loss. So in the heavyweight top five, let me just open up my handy dandy UFC app. Okay. We are in the heavyweight division. The top five is currently uh, champion Tom Aspinall, number one contender Cyril Gane, number two contender Volkov, number three Pavlovich, number four Curtis Blades, number five Jailton Almeida. Here's the situation: Tom Aspinall has not fought Cyril Gane yet. Okay, Cyril Gane's the number one contender. Tom Aspinall has beat Volkov one time with a straight armbar, round one. Aspinall won his belt from Sergey Pavlovich. Okay, he knocked him out round one. Aspinall beat Curtis Blades already. He lost to him once due to a freak leg injury, and then he knocked him out in the first round. So, of the top five, you have Gane, Volkov, Pavlovich, Blades, and Almeida. Aspinall has finished Volkov, Pavlovich, and Blades. Aspinall has not fought yet Cyril Gane or Jailton Almeida. One of those guys is coming off of a win. One of those is coming off of a loss. Simple as that. So you get, and one of them is the number one contender. You have to give the fight to Cyril Gane.
Yeah.
This
I
disgusts me, bro. This disgusts me. You know who's number six right after Jailton Almeida?
who?
Waldo Cortez Acosta.
Dude, why? Why?
Why the
Why?
fuck is he even in the
Why is
UFC,
he
bro?
ranked?
He lost to Spivak. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Disgusting. Disgusting. But yeah.
Totally.
You don't have a lot of interesting fights at heavyweight. You know who the number 15 well soon to be 14 contender is?
Who?
Martin Buday.
I wonder what happened to him. Didn't he like who did he lose to again? I forgot.
He beat Uran Satibaldiev. You remember that one?
Yeah,
Uran is a light heavyweight. He moved up to heavyweight. He before that last year he beat Andrei Arlovsky by split decision, and then he lost before that to Shamil Gaziev by knockout. He fights once a year, and he's already fought this year. I don't know, bro. I don't know. The heavyweight division is in shambles, in literal shambles. This is the most depleted I've ever seen the heavyweight division. Honestly, like you don't have a heavyweight division right now. It sucks. And I'm like, finally, John Jones retired and cleared it up a little bit, but you just need more heavyweight talent. I don't know what's going on. Next season of Tough has to be heavyweights. They need heavyweights.
yeah, dude, I was just about to say they need heavyweights, maybe like heavyweight coaches as well. Like we need more eyes, we need more fixing of that division.
Yeah.
It's definitely a little horrendous. But yeah, I mean,
You do have big guys out there that are really good at fighting. I don't understand what the fuck is going on.
yeah.
The weight class is 206 pounds and up until 265. That's a big range of guys. A lot of heavyweight men fall into that category. Why can't they sign some of these talented guys up? I don't get it. I really don't.
Yeah. But
Can you name any like heavyweights outside the UFC that are really good?
uh I can. I mean, Anatoly Malkin,
Mulligan, yeah, Mulligan's really good.
Rug
Yeah,
Rug. I
Rug
thought
Rug
Rug
in
Rug.
one FC.
Amir Al-Kabari,
Yeah, also one FC.
one FC. Yeah. There's a couple of Marcus Buchecha. He's pretty good.
Buchecha, yeah, Buchecha is good. I don't know if he can hang in there with the UFC guys though. To be
Yeah, me
honest with you,
neither, to be
he'll
honest.
rip everybody's knees apart, but I don't know if he can
Yeah.
stand and bang with
I
them.
mean, Hernan Ferreira is pretty good.
And then Pereira's a really good one. Who else do
Ferreira.
we got in like PFL Bellator?
Do you know who is also really good, but I don't know what happened to him? Bruno Capoloza. That guy.
Bruno Capelloza is really good too. You also have Jairzinho Rosenstruck. Let's not forget he just got cut, and he was
And
actually
he
a
got
good
like an
fighter.
amazing finish on the main event of Dirty Boxing.
Yeah, it's not like
Get
he's out of the sport. You can bring him back.
oh,
And then the
def
Mac Daddy of all heavyweights, dun dun dun, Francis motherfucking Ngannou. Why is he sitting on the sidelines not fighting in his prime days?
yeah. I mean, well, you know what I just realized though, now Jones is done. So if PFL pays, well, I don't think it's gonna happen, but if they pay John Jones enough, he would fight Ngannou, I think.
I don't think so. I think Jones is done. I don't think he wants to take the chance of tarnishing his legacy, especially
Fair
now
enough.
that Ngannou can wrestle.
Yeah,
I don't think he's going to do that fight. I
I
don't
don't.
think Jones wants to take on any of the really scary heavyweights. Tom Aspinall, Renan Fajeda, uh, Francis Ngannou. Like, why? It's too big of a risk to his legacy and to his long-term health.
Yeah, it's not worth it. I agree with you.
Yeah, but I just hate the fact that he held up the division for 2 years to the point where the division is destroyed and there's nobody left. I
Yeah,
hate that. Like,
it's
why do that? It's such a dickhead move.
yeah, he's just full of himself. That's why he thought that.
I guess he has reason more than most of us to be full of himself. But like, just be a decent person. If you're not gonna fucking fight, and if you know you're not gonna fight, step off the fucking pedestal, bro.
Yeah,
Give others the
I
chance to
don't
do it.
understand, bro, what some of these people are thinking.
And bro, I don't get it at all. At all. You have guys willing to fight you, but you're saying no to all of them because they don't have enough hype or enough credibility. But then the only way for them to gain credibility is to beat somebody with a name, and you're the only one in the division with a name.
Yeah, it, the
Makes no
logic
fucking sense.
it really doesn't, Alan. Most of these people's logic doesn't make any sense.
It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. You got to bring in like the Avengers of the heavyweights. You got to go to Bellator and PFL and all of them and sign some of their heavyweights too. I don't know if you sign somebody like Ryan Bader, but Vadim Nemkov, isn't he fully in heavyweight
Yeah,
now?
he's fully in the heavyweight division.
Sign
Yeah,
him up. Sign him up. What the fuck are we letting him chill over there for? Bring him here. Vadim Nemkov. You got the Swarm is what? The Swarm is light heavyweight?
yeah. Oh, the Swarm?
Yeah.
Linton Vassell.
Yeah.
He's heavyweight, yeah.
Bring Vassell in. Can't get much worse than fucking Martin Buday being number 15, Shamil Gaziev being ranked, Waldo Acosta being top
Dude, Shamil
six.
Gaziev. Honestly, Gaziev versus Acosta. I think Gaziev beats him.
I
I kind
think
of want.
I think most guys at heavyweight should beat Waldo Cortez Acosta because he is not great at anything. I don't understand. I am super pissed still that he beat Spivak because Spivak clearly beat him.
Spivak beat him.
I gave him, yeah, I gave him 3 rounds to zero. I don't understand how they scored more than 1 round, more than one for
It's a
Salsa Boy.
little ridiculous, to be honest.
Yeah.
They blatantly stole his ranking, and I really hate that.
Alan,
Yeah.
also, before we jump into some UFC news, if you had to pick, who would be your fighter of the week?
Nas, easy, easy,
Nas?
easy. Nas and Fiziev. I'm picking two.
Okay.
They're both from Azerbaijan, like Azerbaijani heritage. They both showed out. They both did an amazing job. So both of them, they did fucking phenomenal. But
Yeah,
if I have to pick one, I'm going Nas because that boy's a
yeah.
fucking stone cold killer.
Alan, yeah, definitely I agree with you there. Also, getting back to UFC news, I'm seeing this now. I don't think this was really posted, but we have an update for the card on August 16th, UFC 319. So, there's a couple of fights that have been announced. The first one is Chase Hooper, Alexander Hernandez at lightweight.
I like it.
Jessica Andrade and Lupi Godinez at women's strawweight.
I like it.
Kareem Silva and JJ Aldrich at women's flyweight. Uh,
Kareem Silva and JJ Aldrich.
yes,
Oh, okay, okay. I
women's
thought.
flyweight. Gerald Meerschaert versus Mikhail Olajeszuk at middleweight.
I like that fight a lot.
This one's a pretty good one. Tim Elliott and Kai Asakura at flyweight.
That's a fun fight. I like
Yeah.
that one a lot. Striker
Then
versus
we
grappling
also
matchup.
have Edson Barboza making his return to the lightweight division against Drakkar Klose.
Okay,
Then
banger.
we have Brian Battle versus Nursultan Ruzaboyev at welterweight.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Then we also have King Green versus Diego Ferreira at lightweight.
I like that. I like that. Two vets going at it.
And then the last announcement, Jared, the Killer Gorilla Cannoneer versus Michael Venom Page at middleweight.
I saw that one. That one is crazy. Bro, MVP deciding to stay at middleweight. I think he just thinks he's so much faster than everybody that it
Yeah.
might be a viable option. But if Kamzat wins, and then if MVP keeps winning, it's not likely to look good for MVP in that title fight.
Yeah, it really isn't looking good for him.
You think he's up at middleweight just because there's so many contenders at welterweight?
Probably.
Hmm. Who do you think? Let me ask you a tricky question. Who do you think has a better shot of winning if they do Imavov versus MVP?
Imavov.
Imavov.
Dude, Imavov knocked out Israel Adesanya. What do you... I mean, do
Okay,
you
but there's a distinct speed advantage that MVP has over basically
You know
everybody.
what I think though, Alan? If MVP beats Jared Cannonier, there's one fight I want. Israel Adesanya versus Michael Venom Page at middle.
Oh, yes. Yes,
That's a fight
absolutely.
night, main event, wherever the fuck you want it.
Bro, put that shit on the make that the feature bout of a pay-per-view.
No, not even a 5 round co-main event pay-per-view.
I'm with it. I'm with it. I love that fight.
Yeah,
That
that's a
fight
great
is
fight
that fight
stylistically. That would be an amazing fight.
that fight tickles my pickle. I like it.
But yeah, that's it for the major announcements. We've already announced that Roman Dolidze will be fighting Anthony Fluffy Hernandez, and the co-main event will be Steve Erceg, Alex Perez. I think we have also announced this, but Amir Albazi will headline August 2nd against Tatsuro Taira.
Yep.
Yeah,
I like these fights a lot.
yeah, that's the UFC news we have coming up, the announcements. Um, yeah, Alan, was there anything else this weekend that caught your eye, or
Yeah, Apache Mix had the best UFC debut of all time.
that was last weekend?
Yeah, he had the best UFC debut of all time.
Yeah. But before we end this episode for the evening, Alan, we definitely got to give a shout out to what's coming next week. We will be delving into it on the next episode, but we have two title fights
Mhm.
next weekend. We have Charles Oliveira and Ilia Topuria for the vacant lightweight championship.
Monsters
The main
fight.
event. In the co-main event, we have Alexandre Pantoja defending his flyweight championship against Kai Kara France. So stacked card. We will be looking into that next episode
On Tuesday.
on Tuesday, episode 28. This is episode 27.
Crazy.
7 episodes. If you want to keep updated with our episodes, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Combat Sports Report, sports with a Z at the end.
Hmm.
And then on Instagram, at Combat Sports Report. Follow, subscribe to us there. We post all our content, and we're getting a groove on, aren't we, mate?
Hell yeah. We already got the groove. We're producing content nonstop.
Yes,
Interviewing
sir.
fighters left and right like
Talk
it's a
dirty
day
to them,
job.
Alan. Talk dirty to them.
Hey, yo, let me buy them drinks first, at least. All right. That's it. That wraps us for episode 27. Crazy. We've had 27 episodes already. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and all those in between, thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll see you guys here next time. Peace.